So, folks, we're having a good time, and really, people get overblown about art, and I do too, because if it's my raison d'être, that means my reason for being. If that's what it is for me, then I'm going to be kind of like it's going to come across as pompous, I think, and people do tend to get a little resentful if you do come across as pompous with regards to your art, because that even when it's good, technically good, they still can get resentful. And I have seen people get very upset with uh, some of the art that is conceptual that people don't understand, and they get very upset to the point where some people do believe that it's an offense, uh, which I do not believe that. But I do believe that Man Ray, the great surrealist photographer of the 20s, that was, he was an American, but he ended up in Paris. He was part of the whole Paris, France thing in the 20s, before the World War II. And he was quoted as saying that, why is everybody so upset about bad art? A bad artist can't kill you. He said a bad chef, a bad cook, that's something to get upset about, because you could get food poisoning from that. Meaning he was trying to be, I don't know what, humorous, I guess, in a way. But in a way, he was also trying to make a statement about what he was living for, which was to to prove something having to do with the concept of the time, which had to do with Duchamp and and Picasso too. I mean, Picasso was over there in Paris at that time. He had the Cohn sisters come and buy a lot of work and pay a lot of money. I mean, to the point where he had enough for the rest of his life. He then had Gertrude Stein and her brother. Their family had a lot of money, and they helped support his studio. So he was going to say what he had to say as an artist anyway, but he was probably really, I can't speak for Pablo Picasso, but I believe, and I was reading his biography, I think a very good one, because it was written by Pierre Day, uh, who was a real person. I mean, he was real. He wasn't just a fly-by-night art critic that decided, oh, let me just do a bio. But anyway, in the time that I've been yakety yakking and talking, we're developing a drawing, and I have developed paintings, which I'm going to take out in a little while. We're going to do a segment or two on color work. But before you understand color, it's important, and here's our paint and our setup. Before you understand color, you have to, it is my contention that you have to understand the structure of creating an illusion of the third dimension on a two-dimensional surface using drawing. And I recommend getting a good tool that you like. It could be a pencil. This is my favorite. But you know what? That's because I'm kind of like on my own right now, trying to get attention from collectors. If I was in a classroom situation with a lot of kids, like I have been in the past, I find that that's exciting too, but for different reasons. You can, in that situation, use that energy of the synergy of a lot of people and spiritual strength of a lot of creative strength of people in the same room of any age, doesn't matter, from kindergarten through 99 and more, because I taught, classes at the Sawtooth Center for Visual Art in Winston-Salem. People of all ages. I called it Portraits from Photographs because that's what they recommended I call it, but it really was a departure point for a lot of creative stuff that you could do. And people just kind of like gravitate in that area, or did at the time, to a class called Portraits. We, of course, get your photographs of people you love, start developing the ability to recreate what you see. And then you realize that you're internalizing that photograph, that person, the love you feel for that person in your family. And, it's no worse than, better or worse than the great Chuck Close, who really explored the art of portraiture to the point of taking it to a concept, which is how you get the attention of collectors sometimes. At least it was for him. He did some really incredible explorations of the human face. I feel at the expense of his own physical health. That's the way I feel it must have happened. I don't know, because his family may contact and say, no, that's not what happened. Who knows? I don't know him or his family in person. I know that he did work and live out of New York City a lot, and Brooklyn, and possibly where I also work. This is in the Bronx, New York City, April 26th, 2025. To be continued. Okay, bye.